The Leprosy Mission Nigeria, in collaboration with Qualitative Magazine, has called on the federal government to prioritize inclusive budgeting for children with disabilities, stressing the need for increased funding to support their education, healthcare, and overall welfare. The call was made during a press conference in Abuja aimed at drawing attention to the continued exclusion of children with disabilities from national and subnational budget planning. Speaking at the event, the National Director of the Leprosy Mission Nigeria, Dr. Sunday Udo, emphasized that children with disabilities face systemic barriers in accessing basic services. He cited data showing that less than 0.3% of education spending and about 0.1% of health budgets address disability related needs, with no specific allocations targeted at children with disabilities. According to UNICEF 2021 and the World Health Organization 2022, between 10 and 15% of Nigerian children live with one or more form of disability. Dr. Uda stressed that inclusive education requires accessible infrastructure, trained teachers, and assistive devices, while also calling for respectful language that upholds the dignity of children with disabilities.
Budgets are moral documents, and they show us who counts and who is still invisible. Our call today is clear. Nigeria must move from general promises to specific trackable budget commitments for children with disabilities. Inclusion must be planned, it must be costed, and it must be monitored.
Salare Oloyede reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to disability inclusion. He noted that inclusive education is a right, not a privilege, and highlighted ongoing efforts to promote disability inclusive policies, assistive technologies, and accessible school infrastructure across ministries and agencies.
As the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Needs and Equal Opportunities, my office is actively working to advocate for disability inclusive budgeting across ministries, departments, and agencies, promote accountability mechanisms that track how budgetary provisions for persons with disabilities, especially children, are implemented, strengthen collaboration with state governments, development partners, the media, and civil society to institutionalize inclusive financing, ensure that disability considerations are mainstreamed into national development plans and social intervention programs.
The executive director of Qualitative Magazines, Comrade Chris Abo, described inclusive budgeting as a both moral and a social obligation. He warned that when budget failed to recognize children with disabilities, services collapse and rights are denied, putting the future of millions of children at risk. He urged the media to play a stronger role in advocating accountability and amplifying marginalized voices.
It's not just another media meeting, it is a call for conscience and a call to action across Nigeria. Millions of children with disability remain invisible in public planning and budgeting. When budgets are silent, services fail. And when services fail, rights are denied. And when rights are denied, the future of the entire generation is placed at risk. So the media plays a very powerful role in shaping public understanding, influencing policy priorities, and holding duty bearers accountable. So through accurate and ethical and inclusive reporting, the media can actually ensure that the budget processes at national and subnational level reflect the realities, needs, and aspirations of children with disabilities.
Track Also speaking, Mr. Ayuba Murki Gufon, Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, revealed that between 35 and 38 million Nigerians live with disabilities, yet budgetary allocation remains grossly inadequate. He called on ministries and government agencies to adopt inclusive budgeting practices, emphasizing that the core principle of disability advocacy is that no one should be left behind.
And since I was in office, one of the biggest challenges that has confronted my administration is the struggle to get appropriate budget. We want a budget that is commensurate with this population its entirety, and then of course a specific budget that will capture the interests of children. We are approaching it in two ways. First, we want the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities to get a budget that is commensurate with the population that is served, and then we're also like a watchdog. We put an eye on the Federal Minister of Education, Federal Minister of Agriculture, Women Affairs, all the other ministries and agencies of government to see that in the budget that they receive,